A lot of cancer camps are started with the idea that we want to offer a normal camp experience, but we want to offer to kids who ordinarily wouldn't get that experience without special support. And so what's most important for an oncology camp is to provide a normal experience, but in an environment where medical needs can be addressed if a child needs them. We also find that the kids who go home after camp are often more willing to comply with their medical instructions. They're more willing to take their medicine. They're more willing to go through the tough parts of getting treated for cancer. And there are a lot of tough parts because they know that camp is there to support them. Kids who are being treated with cancer just want to be treated like kids, and they want to feel like normal kids. And so when they come to camp and they're surrounded by activities that are considered normal, and they see other kids with cancer enjoying those activities, it spurs them to not only try new things, but also to start feeling like a normal kid again. And so by the time they leave, we've had parents who said, I sent a sick or an angry young kid to camp, and you sent my child back.
You show up and you're not different from everybody else.
So as a mom, you see your child go through treatment and you see what happens to them physically. They get weaker, they lose their hair, they're out of activities. So emotionally and socially, everything changes. And when they come to camp, they get a piece of their childhood back.
Possible, whether we have to move around chemos a little bit or we bring the chemo here. If they need blood transfusions, if they need labs checked, whatever they need to do, we can do it here. And sometimes we have to take them back to the hospital to give the blood products and bring them right back. But we try to keep things as normal as possible to ensure they have the most normal camp experience that every other kid would hopefully have the opportunity to have.
And Becca was initially diagnosed. My son was 10, and it wasn't until he was 18 and graduated from high school that he wrote this paper, and basically it was like getting into college paper, and basically it was my little sister got cancer and I became an inconvenience. And I was like, oh crud. So a year later, his sister wrote her college entrance paper, and hers was basically my little sister got cancer and my brother saved me. And it goes on to talk about the way that her brother saved her was that she didn't want to go to camp, to the brothers and sisters camp, the sibling camp. And Drew helped to introduce Haley to this whole family that truly has become family.
I think it's having kids that you can relate to, and it helps everyone, between the counselors and the
I think it's important that people understand just how important this camp is to some of these kids. I think that there are a lot of them who this is the thing that gets them through the year.
In the 35 years we've been along, we've never had a story more dramatic than last summer when a little girl who was sent home in early July, with the news that her body was shutting down from her transplant rejection, and she had about 48 hours to live. And camp was still 5 weeks away, and so she told her parents during a quiet moment that I don't think I'm supposed to die yet because camp is coming. And so her parents notified us and said, is it going to be possible to get her to camp? And we committed to whatever it takes, we will get her to camp. And so she kept hanging on and hanging on and hanging on, and when she came to the week of camp, she rallied, but to the point that when she got home, her doctor said her lab tests were coming back normal again, and they couldn't figure out why. And so she's back this year with us, a year and a half later, and she's walking again. She's eating solid foods. Her doctors can't explain it, but they said that she had a miraculous turnaround, and it was camp that led her to that.